did you know that cravings are actually good for you? Yeah, I know that sounds strange, and I'll tell you why that is in just a second. But before I do, just listen to this very short story. An old Cherokee Indian is teaching a young boy about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said. It's a fight between two wolves. One is evil. He is envy, anger, inferiority, self-pity, and low confidence. The other one is good. He is peace, hope, kindness, empathy, and he has high confidence. And you know, my son, these two wolves are always fighting inside every person on the planet, even inside you. The young boy looked amazed and asked, "Which wolf will win?" And the old Indian simply replied, "The one you feed." Now, I like this story because it mirrors how your brain works during your reboot. For every decision you make, you are building neural pathways in your brain. And for every action you take, you are either strengthening or weakening those pathways. You are, in a sense, building yourself to become a certain way. And here's what's so cool. Every time you are presented with a choice, you can either strengthen or weaken your PFC. Now, PFC stands for prefrontal cortex. And perhaps you remember from some of my older videos that the prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that is responsible for planning, reasoning, and self-control. Yes. So this is why urges actually are good for you. Because when you are hit by a craving, you are also presented with a choice. You either give in or you can stay your ground. And please understand this. It is in that choosing that you are building your brain and yourself into becoming the person you want to be. One could almost say that it is in that choice where PMO rebooting happens. If you are feeding the old you, then the old addiction wolf grows stronger. If you choose to feed the no PMO wolf and you don't relapse, the no PMO wolf grows stronger and the old you becomes weaker. So think of all those choices as the perfect opportunity to feed one of those two wolves. So indeed, it is not wrong to say that cravings and urges are actually something you should wish for during your recovery. Because without the urges, there is no choice presented to the wolves. And so neither of them really changes. Just imagine if you're watching Netflix or reading a book. You are just sitting there and everything is fine and you have no cravings at all. Then there is also no choice and no food for either of those two wolves. So if we need urges in order to grow stronger, then of course urges are good for us if you feed the right wolf. And of course, this is not only true for rebooting, it is the same with many things in life, with junk food, procrastination, smoking cigarettes, alcohol, and on and on and on. Pretty much any bad habit where you are presented with a choice of either staying strong or falling for the temptation. By the way, I once heard Gary Wilson talk about a study they made on former addicts, where they found that people who had successfully overcome an addiction have a bigger and better functioning prefrontal cortex than those who never had any addiction in the first place. And so now you say, but how in the hell can that be possible? Well, in the middle of an addiction, the prefrontal cortex is weaker, of course. In fact, it's much weaker then. But as we are presented with urges again and again and again, we also get that choice to grow stronger again and again and again. And if we successfully feed the right wolf and we overcome the addiction, that means we will have logged in a lot of reps for our brain, and the result will then also be a stronger control center than what normal people have after we have recovered. Pretty cool, huh? So if you often relapse on, say for example Tuesday, then don't be scared on Monday then thinking, oh man, I hope I don't get cravings tomorrow. Instead, why not try making a game out of it? Take a piece of paper and draw two columns. One is for your no PMO rebooting wolf, and the other one is for the old addicted part of you. And every time you feel a strong craving, you take a pen and you literally draw a small X in the column of the wolf you choose to feed. Or if you think that this sounds just too childish, then forget about the wolves and just imagine your future self and your old self. And then imagine that that X you mark in the columns is protein powder or something that makes either the better version of yourself or the worse version of yourself grow stronger. So now let the urges come. Love the challenge, and I'll end by asking, which wolf are you going to feed? And speaking of rebooting, if you ever wondered how long it's going to take your brain to recover after all the years of porn, then you can try my free recovery time estimator using the link below. And oh hey guys, take a look at the video you see on the screen right here if you want to know whether or not you should reset after you had a slip or two. Just take a look right now and you'll see exactly what I mean.